Well, you get a nice little salary. How do you feel about your new contract?
It's a nice little salary. I like the adjective. I mean, it's an honor and a blessing to be in this position, honestly. Growing up in Canton, Ohio, going to a small school, the career I've had, early on and to now, it's a testament to hard work. It's a testament to the organization believing in me, having faith in me throughout my career and then up to this point. And I'm looking forward to spending, 5 more years here.
CJ, what's the meaning behind the shirts and the Never Saw It Coming?
Oh, my homie, shout out to my homie Trey. He designed a lot of stuff for me for Leaning, and I think it's a nice saying, a nice gesture. Basically, looking at my career, looking at my story. Probably a lot of people never seen it coming, so I thought that it was fitting. They put it on a T-shirt, and then we figured out how to make it into a kids camp T-shirt, and I'm the guy that wears the shirt with his face on it, but I think it's cool.
CJ, growing up, did you ever think you would have a $100 million contract?
Well, this is 2 now, but
Okay.
I
no.
forgot about the first one.
Yeah, you forgot about the first one, but no, honestly, I was just trying to make it to the NBA. That was the goal, and then once I got here, I was trying to stick and stay as long as I could and figure out a way to be successful, figure out a way to help my team win and be productive. And I think I've done those things, and it's a real blessing to be here. It's a testament to how I was raised. It's a testament to work ethic, and also the NBA has changed a lot. Since I was a kid to now, the game has changed. Even since I've been in the NBA to now, a lot has changed with the game, and I'm thankful. I've worked extremely hard to be in this position, and it's nice to see, the fruits of the labor pay off.
The roster has changed as well. How do you like the team?
Well, I haven't seen everybody yet. I worked out with KB this morning, so I've been able to talk to him a little bit even during the season. So I think we got some great pieces. Hopefully we can put everything together. Probably the first year in a long time where we have, 6, 7 new players coming to a roster. Obviously, we'll get Nurk back at some point this season, so that'll be extremely helpful. We miss him. We missed him last year, and we'll miss him for the season until he comes back. But I think the additions, getting some shooting, getting a shot blocker, getting a guy who can finish around the basket, getting some key pieces that can fill certain roles, I think will help us. But we'll definitely miss the guys we lost.
Gasol said yesterday that he's gotten to know you a little bit through the executive board. Mm-hmm. What kind of an addition will he be to this team?
Yeah, that's a big signing for us. I was actually at Cryo when we signed him, so I didn't know until afterwards. But I think he's a big body who can help. He's got a championship pedigree, Hall of Famer, knows how to play the game the right way. Obviously, he has the skill set. He can pass. He can do those things. But I think his mentorship will be important. Having a guy who's won a championship in the locker room, having a guy who kind of knows what it takes to have success, to be around some of our younger guys, not just guards but bigs as well.
CJ, a lot of guys are kind of looking forward to free agency. A lot of guys are obviously changing teams a lot more often. So why the decision to sign him?
Well, I had 2 years left on my current deal, but I'm happy with the situation I'm in. I love the city. I bought a home here. I look forward to potentially raising a family here. So I think all those things played a factor. Obviously, it gives myself security, the team security, knowing that I'm not going to become a free agent in 2 seasons, and kind of aligns me to continue to play alongside Dame, continue to help build things not only on the court but in the community. I think it made sense for me, and it made sense for the team, so I was glad we were able to get it done.
Why did you decide to withdraw from USA basketball?
You listen to my podcast. A lot of things factored into it, honestly. The workload, the travel, the timing of it. My grandma's birthday is August 10th. I haven't been able to go to a birthday in a while. My fiance's grandma's birthday is August 14th. So just like a lot of stuff went into figuring out how to kind of rest to get ready for the season. This was the longest season I've played, and obviously I did have an injury this past season. So just being cautious of my workload, how I'm trying to recover, and what I'm trying to accomplish this next season, especially knowing that we could be playing in April, May, and potentially June. I was just thinking long term, and I felt like it was in my best interest not to do it. I felt like there were some things I wanted to work on, and that USAB would not put me in a position to accomplish a lot of things I wanted to accomplish.
You've had obviously time throughout your career to reflect at different points, but when you sign a contract like this, again, like what pops into mind? Where does your mind go, and where does that reflection go?
I think you go back to the struggle. You go back to failure, different things that you've gone through in your life to get here, and it kind of puts it into perspective that you're happy you went through it, you're glad you're able to overcome it. But then, for me, I like to turn the next page and look forward to how I can continue to build. And before we talked about this is the second or third contract, I was looking, at how I can get better for the next one, how I can get better for our team. And I've been a guy who's never really, been satisfied. Work hard, try to figure out ways to improve, try to figure out ways to sustain a certain level of play, and getting paid is great. It's a great feeling, but there's more to be done and more work to be done. I look forward to that part of it. But I've been at camp. I worked out at 6 and took a shower, and I've been at camp all day. So I'll reflect with my family and my loved ones later. But right now, just enjoy this time with the kids and continue to plan things for the next couple seasons.
And you've talked before about legacy, and the way it's lined up now with you and Dame and how long you're going to be together. This is like Clyde and Terry. Like, they played 10 years together. Do you think about stuff like that, about you as a pair and what that would mean?
I haven't. Actually, I've seen some highlights. I was on Twitter, and I seen some highlights of Terry today. And I was like, man, like, time is flying, just thinking about, when I was a rookie to where I'm at now, going into year 7, and 5 more years, and then thinking about how long that'll be, how good we'll have been during this time period, and how successful we can be going forward. But it's a special time, and we've talked about this for a long time. We've talked about being in Portland, making a staple here, trying to win a championship here, and all of those things. And we've crossed off a lot of goals individually and collectively. But I think that us both being here for the long haul, us both being able to grow together and win together is something that people remember for a long time. And it's sad, but usually you don't really appreciate things until it's gone. So hopefully we can appreciate this moment, and everyone else around it can appreciate it while we're here.
And I know you've answered this a million times, but why do you and Dame work?
I think it's an understanding of how we were raised, who raised us, priorities, figuring out what's important to you as a person. I think when you get to know somebody on a personal level, where you truly understand, what makes them tick, what they play for, things they like to do in their spare time, you're around their families, I think you're able to kind of coexist more when you have a relationship. I mean, there's people that can coexist that hate each other, but I think when you genuinely care about somebody and seeing them succeed and you're happy for them, I think that makes everything easier. And we've both been that way from the beginning, and I think it was an authentic relationship that wasn't forced. It wasn't like, all right, you're teammates, now you got to be friends. We knew each other before, and we just happened to become teammates, and I've been able to build on a lot of things. And when you're willing to sacrifice for the greater good, I think it starts at the top. And he's been able to do that, I've been able to do that, and we've coexisted well, and we'll continue to only get better going forward.
Can you maybe illustrate an example of how that has translated to the court?
Just more understanding of each other. Like, when I see certain things that he might need to do better, I'm not afraid to tell him. He's not going to take it personally. If there's something he sees that I need to do better, maybe it's during the game, maybe I need to lock him, or it's maybe I'm not holding my follow through. Simple stuff that, like, we're not afraid to correct each other, empower each other, to do more or to do less. And I think that's what it takes to be successful. The great ones figure out ways to do whatever it takes, and sometimes less is more. Sometimes you need to take criticism. I think he's a guy who leads by example, but he's not too cool for you to talk to him from 1 to 15.
The great ones also add something to their game every summer. Has there been an aspect that you've been particularly working on this summer?
Yeah, I think more so the development phase for me starts now, with the way the season progressed. Obviously, you're tightening things up, looking at how the NBA has changed, more three-pointers off the dribble, being able to extend the range. Obviously, the shot Dame hit was from 50 feet, and I don't want to shoot that far because it's too far for me to shoot comfortably. But being able to do some of those things, as the game evolves, you need to evolve with the game, where you get lost in the shuffle. And I shoot a lot of mid-range shots, and that's been great. But understanding, how good of a shooter I am and how I can get my shot off more creatively from behind the arc, and then from understanding game flow. Like, I was just FaceTiming my brother earlier, and he's 31 now, and he tells me about how, like, once you get closer to 30, like, things start to slow down, and you start to really understand the game and figure out how to more efficiently get to certain spots on the court, and how to manipulate a game. Some of the things we talked to DV about while he was here was manipulating the game, and that doesn't mean I got to come shoot every play, come try to be aggressive every play. It's sometimes understanding how to call a certain set that's for somebody else because you've seen something in the first quarter.
Can you talk a little bit about how special it is to be here at camp with these kids, kind of teaching them basics and just spending time with them?
No, it's a really cool feeling to see how happy the kids are to take me back to my childhood when I was going to East Nose Camp back in Canton, Ohio, and just to see the impact you can have on the community as a normal guy who just plays basketball, who's probably the same height as a lot of their dads. It's cool to be able to interact with them and hoop and give back.
Dane said that one of the things he's working on is to become more crafty like you. Have you given him any input on that?
We work out together a lot, so I think he's in Phoenix right now, but we'll get together towards the latter part of the summer, and then we work out during the season every day. So he's north-south, and I got to get more north-south, and he's trying to get more east-west, so it'll be good for us to share tips and then free throws. Like I'm scoring 20 real baskets a game instead of getting to the free throw line more, so try to get to about 5 a game, and I think I did more of it in the playoffs, but I just didn't make the free throws. So it's like you go step by step and try to figure out how to add one thing. And I think using the pump fake, I used it more. I think I got 10 or 11 free throws in a couple playoff games, and just being smarter, because a lot of times I can create space and get a shot, but if I can get them off balance, create space, get them in the air, instead of letting them go by me, just take the contact, and it'll make the game easier, and it'll make life better for everybody, because now we're in the bonus and it's a different type of game.
So how do those conversations happen? Is it organically, or how do you pick his brain?
Yeah, we pick each other's brains. We watch film when we're playing together. So when I'm sitting beside him, flying from city to city, we're watching film, and he might see something, or I might just start watching on his screen just because I want to see his minutes, see how he's dictating the game, see what type of shots he's getting. And I might point something out on his screen, then I start watching. He might point something out on my screen, and it's funny, people say that we're alike. We are alike, but our games are completely different. Like how I score and how he scores is completely different. So being able to kind of show him oh, this is how I hesitate right here. Or telling him yo, if you just slow down a little bit right here when you stutter step, they still can't catch up to you. So just little stuff to where he likes to step back 2 feet. I like to step back on 1 foot gather. Just those type of things to where, he's already a great player and probably going to be a Hall of Famer. But if he can tighten up one area or just add, like you said, one little thing to his game, that changes the dynamic. And if I can get better, he can get better. We're 4 wins away from going to the finals. That little stuff matters during the regular season and during the playoffs.
Has he kind of hinted that to you, though, that he wanted to become more or add that aspect of it?
We've been talking about it for years as we work out. When we do certain drills, I work on being more explosive coming out because I play with pace. And it looks like that I'm my mom always say, you look like you're not trying. I'm trying. It just doesn't always appear that way. And he's really explosive north-south, and obviously he gets off the ground. But he works on trying to change up his speeds, and I work on just trying to be more explosive, north-south.
Is your wedding date the 21st September?
No, I'm getting married in 2020.
Which day?
2020. September, 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still
Just a couple more for CJ, guys.
finalizing those details.
CJ, we know Hassan's really excited to be playing with shooters like
That can dribble.
How do you see him fitting in?
He's going to fit in well. He works hard. Obviously, I've known him for some years, same agency. I've been to his house in Miami, and we've talked over the course of the summer on how he can fit in to our offense and how he can help defensively. So it's going to be fun for him. It's a new environment. I think it's a fresh start for him, different type of leadership here, different type of chemistry and culture. And he'll be good for us, really good for us.
You guys have the highest payroll now in the league, and you got to the conference finals now. The next step, is it a disappointment if you don't win it all now?
I think every year you don't win it all. It's disappointing, even when you're not supposed to. Highest payroll in the league, that's funny. I'm going to make the same I was going to make 4 years ago when I signed, but I think everybody wants to win. You get a taste of success, and then you get humbled in the conference finals. It changes your perspective on things. So, wanting to tighten up, stuff in the summertime. How do I get better in the summer? How do I sustain a level of play in the regular season? How do I take it a step forward in the playoffs? I think each player is different. Each guy's mentality is different. But I think collectively we realize how close we are, but also how small room for error there is, down the stretch of games. You can't drop games to teams you're not supposed to lose to, especially now, with the way the conference is shaped. So every game is going to be important, and I think that we'll be ready to play this season as we always are. And come playoff time, it's going to be tough no matter who you get matched up against.
Someone said that that Dame has exchanged a bunch of texts and conversations about leadership and stuff. Have you two also done that? Sounds like you have a good relationship.
Yeah, we've talked less about leadership, just more so about how he fits in, what to expect, what the city is like, where he should live, all those types of things. We'll talk more. We'll be here in September at some point, so that's when we're really talking. Start the X's and O's, what to expect. But he understands what needs to be done, and he'll see when he gets here, like how we roll, how we do things, what's acceptable and what's not, and we'll go from there.
Last one.
How have you seen your camp grow over the years?
I started with 76 kids. Now I'm over 300, so it's grown a lot. Camp grown, but how we run the camp has grown. There's better food. Shout out to Ashley. There's better food, right? There's just better resources here. We've learned to grow and figure out ways to put on a great camp, and it starts from the head down. PJ, Matt, they all do a great job of being stars in their roles, and the kids have a good time, and we figure out ways to make things a little bit more fun each year.